So, for reasons unknown, my Galaxy Watch 7 Ultra has yet to be shipped. So while we wait for that, let's talk about the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro and the Galaxy Watch 6 Classic, and if the Galaxy Watch 7 Ultra is even a device I should, in fact, be waiting for.
Now everybody scream enough respect to the X. Enough respect given.
The claim to fame for the Pro was the amazing battery life. Rotating bezel aside, that's what I was looking for. Something that would get me through the day without cause for concern. So I went out and I got one. It was an extreme device, as it were, for those who really got into their exercise routines and need all-day battery life. Here's my experience with the battery, and I can say, as old as this watch is, it's still doing its job right. So we're at 100%, and we will see just how long this watch actually lasts. It's been 16 hours and I'm at 57%. That's actually pretty good. That's actually really good, being that I did all my regular stuff. Day 2, I actually took the watch to the Samsung store and I got to compare it to the Watch 7 Ultra and my Watch 6 Classic. It is 2:20 in the morning. And it's saying that my battery is very low, which it is. I think we're at, let's take a quick look here. What was it? 5%. And this one has pretty much been on my wrist for the past 2 days. You see here, the Watch 5 has 1 day and 10 hours. The Watch 6 Classic has 1 day and 8 hours. Now, this is at 98%, and this is at 57%. So that should give you a good idea of just how much bigger this battery is and how much longer this watch can last in comparison to the newer model. As for controls, like I said, you swipe through just fine. Swipe left, you get to your notifications. Swipe right, you get to your various tiles that you have. Swipe down, you get your control panel with your various options, power and settings and vibration and everything that you are probably used to on a smartwatch in some way, shape, or form. Swipe down there, and you have all of your apps that you have access to. So, if you've ever used a Samsung smartwatch before, it's nothing you haven't seen. Of course, you also have the digital bezel, which, like I said, it doesn't work the best. It's not as accurate as I would like. It does have some feedback that you can turn on. You feel a quick vibration with every quote-unquote peg that it goes through. But like I said, when you are trying to go to something quick, it most times jumps to the page after you want. There's some kind of lag there. So that's why I say it's not as accurate as the actual crown, which I don't really use the digital bezel nearly as much. It's just easier to swipe to get where you need to go. As far as the buttons are concerned, you're able to set what you want the buttons for. Me, I have this set to go home, so any app that I might be interested, I go home. And this is set to open up my apps tab, so whatever I have been in, I can always just swing back and get right back to it. There's also certain gestures the watch has. As you can see here, you can and answer calls with a shake of your arm up and down. You're able to dismiss calls with a quick shake of the wrist. And you can actually quick launch here. I have it set to a Spotify with a knock pattern. Now, the knock pattern I wouldn't use very often because it's not, again, very accurate. You might have to do it maybe 2-3 times before it actually works, and in that time you really could have just swiped up and gone to the app that you want. So as you can see, though it doesn't have the controls of many other watch options, it's not for lack of trying. So it's real easy to link the Watch 5 Pro to any pair of existing earbuds, especially if they're Samsung buds. Here we have my Buds FE. These are originally linked to my S24, but because Samsung devices can just, jump from device to device, it really is just a matter of going into the options on your watch, going into your earbuds. You probably can't see it too well, the lighting and such, but you just go in there and you just select from the list of buds that the watch knows is on the phone. And here I'm going to select Buds FE, and I wish I could show it to you guys better, but here you can see kind of that it's linked. Boom. Now I can just go in and play whatever I have downloaded on the watch. The watch does have a 16 gig internal hard drive, 16 gigs of storage, and I think it's 1.4 gigs of memory, 1.6. Either way, more than enough for a watch like this to get through what it must get through. I have a pretty extensive playlist downloaded to it. Also, 2 or 3 audiobooks. So while I'm at the gym where I don't take my phone with me, if I do want to hear my favorite tunes and listen to the next chapter of my book, I can. The watch, the battery on it is more than powerful enough to last a whole day while still doing these extra endeavors. So it's the reason why you get something like this. The Watch 5 really does stand out in that department, that battery department. It really does give you the extra time in the day to do what you want to do and what you need to do. So one of the highlights of having such a long-lasting battery is the fact that I'm finally able to track my sleep. As it stands, with the Watch 6 Classic, that was something I was never able to do, simply because by the time I got home, the watch would be just about dead. It would be on its last leg, 2, maybe 3% left in the battery. With the Pro, with the extended battery that it has, when I get home, I've barely touched 30%, which is more than enough left on the device for me to go to sleep, wake up the next day, track how I slept, track the metrics, and go through the entire next day as well. Now, when I go home that evening, depending on how much I stress the battery for the day, I might not be able to track my sleep that night without a quick top-up before bed. But if you manage your charging right, like I've been trying to do now with this guy, you are able to track your sleep every night. Now, not all is good and dandy with the Watch 5 Pro. There are maybe 1 or 2 little things I wish they. And it's weird. I can't say 1 or 2 little things I wish they could have changed, because they actually did change those things in the next iteration of the Galaxy Watch. So, like I said, it's kind of weird going backward, but it works. Where devices like the S6 Classic will charge just fine on the plate. You see the lights on, what have you. Because of the bands on the Watch 5 and how they bend, you can't readily pop this on the plate and have it charge for no other reason that the bands don't allow it to touch. Now you can push this thing down and you will see the charging plate start to act up with the lights on and what have you here, but once you let go, it pops right back up. Now this is annoying for one main reason. I like these bands. I like this metallic metal clasp, and though I could take off the band with this little switch at the bottom of the device, it is a pain in the butt to put back on. So the trouble it takes to take off the band to charge on the plate is not worth the effort. So I have to get one of these little charging pucks to charge the watch. Now it's annoying in the fact that when I take my watch, I normally don't take any other charging plate. I just charge it on the back of my phone while my phone is charging, like at a hotel or what have you. So one plug charges everything and we are good to go. And yes, this watch does last how many days? 2, maybe 3 if you're good. But if it does come down to you do need to charge it, you're going to need your own charging puck for it. And that's just another charging device to take, and that's just a little bit of an inconvenience when I already have something as versatile as this that so far has charged every watch and every phone and every pair of earbuds, at least by Samsung, that I have had. So not a big issue, but an issue nonetheless. And I do like this band. It feels really good, whatever material it is, and this magnetic clasp that it has. Once I learned how it worked, once I figured it all out, it's actually really good. I wouldn't mind them trying to bring it back for the newer models, or just sell it by itself, as it can be removed. I give it that. It does work well. I can see why this device would be called the Watch Pro, because when compared to the other Watch 5, it does everything those do and then some. The larger screen, the indent where the screen itself is, the harder glass, the better material that it's made out of, the long-lasting battery. Everything about it does say this is a pro level device.